Welcome to Lodging on Demand. I'm George Seli, managing editor of Lodging Magazine. And in this episode is focused on pools, one of the most popular hotel amenities, particularly at resorts. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about pool decks, their design, safety, and maintenance. And I have with me a specialist in this area, Sean West, VP of Sales and Marketing with Deckology. Sean, thanks for joining me today.
Well, thanks for having me, George.
Sure. So Deckology is the exclusive installer of Aquaflex. That's a soft surfacing solution that's designed for commercial pool decks. And the company has worked with numerous major hotel brands and collaborates with clients to transform their pool decks. So, Sean, I wanted to start off by getting your view on whether hoteliers are investing more in quality pool decks than in years past. How has that been trending overall?
Absolutely. There's definitely an enhancement about pool decks because pool decks are now exclusively about the guest experience. They take photographs, they post them on social media, and they're starting to define a hotel's brand. And hotel owners know that a pool deck is one of the first things guests notice. This is why they're investing more to become competitive. You know, they're looking at four things that are safety, design, and of course the life cycle costs. So they're kind of wanting all three in one.
Great. Yeah. What do you think has been driving that trend?
Social media.
Yeah.
Social media is pretty much focused because what happens is if you're looking up a hotel, people are now utilizing the web a lot quicker. So they're finding the resorts that they want to see and they're looking for those amenities. And yeah, a front desk check-in is beautiful, but they're going to use the pool deck.
Right. No, fair enough. Yeah. Can you overview, Sean, the sort of the types of commercial pool decks that are currently available on the market? I mean, and which are maybe the newer types that weren't historically available for
Sure,
owners?
absolutely. There's a lot of options on the market with pool decks. It always starts with brushed concrete, and then they're looking at different enhancements. Some of the enhancements could be overlays such as a spray texture or a stamped concrete. There's natural stone pavers and tiles, which have been used for many years.
Right.
Exposed aggregate is definitely one. Resin-bound aggregate systems like an epoxy rock and MMA are definitely used in the market. They were very popular in the 90s.
Yeah.
We're finding soft surfacing is making a little bit more of an impact, like rubber and thermoplastics that we deal with. In my opinion, hospitality resorts need to kind of choose the right surface for them. Situations like climate, traffic, volume, maintenance, branding standards all come into the picture when they're trying to choose a product.
Yeah. So there's many factors, right?
Absolutely.
What are some of the price points for these products? Just speaking in general, are there? I mean, obviously, like any spectrum of products in an area, there's going to be cheaper and more expensive solutions.
Sure.
I mean,
The cheapest option is, of course, bare concrete. You're going to pour it,
right.
and then you're just going to broom fish it. But you're looking at price points that, if you're a spray texture, is going to be on the low end. If you're using terrazzo, it's going to be on the high end. So you're going to go anywhere from $7 to $12 a square foot up to $70 a square foot, depending on the type of terrazzo or tile that you may choose. And then in between, what we've also seen is sometimes you divide up pool decks. You may say, hey, I really like this product here, but I don't have enough money for everything.
Yeah.
So then we start to mix and match those products.
Okay. So you don't have to choose just one product for the whole deck. I mean, you can kind of mix and match a little bit for
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some flexibility there, right? Are there any eco-friendly choices for pool decks? Is that a factor? And if so, how do they compare in terms of like durability and maintenance?
So there are technically eco-friendly products. I mean, you could
Yeah.
look at wood as an eco-friendly product.
Right.
The challenge with some eco-friendly products are there is some maintenance involved. And if you're going to have a teak deck system, you're going to need to make sure you take care of that wood.
Right.
Um, it's better to look at a system that's going to last the longest, to look at how it impacts the environment. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at, say, a product that can be renovated with little or no demolition,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to save waste, right? So that's going to be an eco-friendly. If you're looking at something that has low VOCs or is a used recycled materials, that's also a
Mm-hmm.
benefit that could come in. So
Right.
the right product for kind of eco for me is the right product that's going to last the longest, look the best, and still provide the best solutions for the client.
Right. And just for our listeners, VOC, that's the volatile organic compounds, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Especially in California.
Yeah, yeah. So we want to reduce those if possible. Is that the idea?
Sure.
Right. Okay. And now there's many factors that come into choosing a pool deck material. I guess guest safety is obviously an important feature, and I wanted for you to give me some background on how these materials have evolved to improve guest safety, right? Which I guess is the non-slip feature that some decks have, right? Or
Correct. So the
okay,
products in the market have continually evolved. I've been in the market for 25 years.
yeah,
I've seen the same product, but yet it's enhanced every single year. So
yeah.
products are really focusing on slip resistance, cooler underfoot,
Mhm.
sometimes impact absorption. You're also looking for products that can handle some of the slight cracking, so they're
Okay,
not damaging while the deck is moving.
yeah.
You're looking for products that can be repaired relatively easy, so that the hotel can actually handle that repair in-house without
Mhm.
having to demo an entire deck.
Okay, right. So some of these products they enhance safety and are also better for maintenance, right? They make maintenance easier, or they enhance the life of the product. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
It depends on the product, and the maintenance is always goes along. When we're talking about a product to a client, we want to talk about the maintenance because we want
Sure.
them to be aware of how to get the best length of time out of that
Right,
service.
and we'll talk about the maintenance shortly. I was wondering about comfort for the traffic on the surface, right? Is that a factor? I mean, can a surface offer both slip resistance and comfort for guests? Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Soft surfacing, like rubber and or the thermoplastics that
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
currently deal with, do offer those. They're offering
Okay.
a slip resistant system. They're offering something that's soft underfoot
Right.
as well as cooler underfoot. So especially looking at today's environment, when you have individuals looking at their phone, they
Right.
may not be watching where they walk. They
Yeah.
may slip
Right.
and fall. If they fall on something that's soft, it's much better.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right. That would be ideal, right? So and then okay, following up on the maintenance side. What are some of the kind of structural problems that can develop in pool decks over the long term that owners should be aware of? And I guess this depends on the material, right? Um,
It does. So, with structural problems, there's two things. There's structural deck problems, and then there's surface finish problems. So, I want to differentiate the two. When it comes to the structural deck product, you're going to look at concrete cracking. You're going to look at settling. A lot of that tends to affect the drainage. Expansion joint systems, if they're lifting, they're going to create something that could potentially cause a tripping hazard.
yeah,
You also have moisture intrusion, and a lot of pools have those challenges where there's corroded reinforced steel underneath it, which is pushing the rust through the deck. And then, of course, repairs that are not done correctly typically pop off. So,
right.
a resurfacing product, a material shouldn't be expected to cover the problem. You want to make sure that that structural problem is addressed first and before a resurfacing product is chosen.
Got it, got it. And you're speaking of drainage. What is that exactly? that you want to make sure there's adequate drainage for the deck?
Well, you definitely want no water sitting on a pool deck. So the water should technically drain away from the deck at all points. So you have expansion joints that are deco drain systems. You want to make sure that pitches are always corrected. When there's movement of a concrete surface, that's where you can typically get some puddling. And puddling leads to microbial growth, which of course is going to make the deck look dirty. It's going to potential slipping. So yes.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you're the sort of exclusive provider of Aquaflex, right? That type of surface. Okay. Um, but speaking in general, I mean, in your view, what kinds of pool deck surfaces provide the best long-term performance for those high traffic pool areas, you know?
Sure. So rather than look at one material as the best for all solutions, you kind
Yeah.
of have to look at the performance characteristics.
Okay.
Rigid materials like stone, concrete, pavers, and tiles perform really well when there's limited surface movements and the joints are functioning good. Soft systems are more advantageous when you're looking for something that's soft or cooler and flexible. For me, every time we assess a deck, there's been times where I actually say my product is not the right product for you. But the best solution is the one that matches the property's operating conditions. A product that you use at a boutique hotel is not one that you may use at a large resort with hundreds of people walking on it.
That's interesting. So you need to consider the amount of traffic on the deck. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay. So what are the materials that are better for those really high traffic hotels versus the boutique ones that have less traffic?
Well, you typically find boutique hotels are utilizing things like teak. They're utilizing a lot of tile, a lot of inlay systems. The cost of those are typically a lot higher.
Okay.
And so when you're looking at a resort, and of course, our company is based in Las Vegas, we're looking at 50,000 square feet.
Yeah.
You're not going to do a mosaic tile deck on a 50,000
Right.
square foot
Okay.
resort.
Sure.
So you have to look at economies come into scale.
Yeah. Yeah. No, fair enough. Right. I guess this is also part of maintenance, but are some types of deck surfaces easier to clean than others? Is that a factor?
Well, I think
Or
every deck has pros and cons.
yeah.
Cementia systems can sometimes absorb stains.
Okay.
You can look at, also maintenance has to come into play.
Yeah.
It's important that there is a maintenance schedule based upon the product that's on your deck. So for
Hmm.
me, I recommend daily, make sure that the puddling water and the debris is removed.
Yeah.
Weekly should be the cleaning associated with the product that you're down. What is the manufacturer's recommended cleaning? I believe every quarter should be a deep clean where you're removing all the items off your deck, you're cleaning it, you're
Right.
inspecting it, but you're also inspecting the drains and any of
Hmm.
the edges to make sure that they're performing well. And then
Right.
annually, you definitely want to take a deep dive in there, see if there's any repairs that have to be
Yeah.
taken. And if the contractor that actually did the surfacing is in your market, it's a good time to invite them over and say, hey, can we walk with our pool deck to make sure that it's performing to your standards, but also performing to ours? I think there's always a partnership when a hotel hires a contractor.
Okay. Right. Um, so you mentioned quarterly, right? That kind of feeds into my next question of what the ideal maintenance schedule that a hotel should be on for these decks, right?
Sure,
Do you
I do
recommend
recommend to have
quarterly inspections and cleaning, and that's
absolutely.
okay.
With you're finding a pool deck being utilized, especially down where in warmer climates, almost every day. So every day there's going to be some sort of brief maintenance, but really
Right.
quarterly is when you're going to want to do a deep clean and really take a look at the deck without anything on the deck. That's really when you're going to want to do it. And then yearly, when the pool's closed down or slow season,
Yeah.
that's when you want to see if there's any repairs that might need to be made.
Got it. Got it. Now, in terms of partnering with a pool deck supplier, which you mentioned briefly there, what are some of the qualities that an owner should look for in a
Sure,
supply? Yeah.
when you're going to go ahead and choose an installer, it's just as important to choose a great installer as it is a great product.
Yeah.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that if you're hiring an installer, you want to make sure that they're an installer that works with commercial pool decks. You want them to be able to come out to your establishment, review your deck,
Right.
analyze it, identify the challenges that they have, explain how they're going to correct those challenges, and complete that installation to make sure that
Yeah.
we're not reliving those challenges. On top of that, you're going to want to make sure that this is very important, that a warranty is written, but that warranty is also explains what it does and does not cover. One of the biggest challenges is I recently went to a hotel. The deck was down for 2 years. It looked atrocious. I asked him what was going on, and I said, "Isn't it under warranty?" And they said, "Well, this wasn't covered under the warranty." So you
I,
really want to make sure that you're understanding. Okay, like cleaning. Are there maintenance procedures that need to be done on the product, and is there something that's going to damage it? So it's important to understand the product that you're getting and what keeps that warranty and what takes that warranty away.
okay, right. I mean, are there any guidelines on what should be the ideal warranty in terms of length and things it should cover that owners should look for? Um,
Well, a minimum warranty realistically
right.
should, in my eyes, a minimum warranty should be 3 years. Now, there are warranty extensions that you can purchase, and I do recommend them if they're budgeted out. Then it's a great way. But you want to understand what that warranty covers. I mean, is it something that if it covers it not staining, well, there's a visual benefit there.
Okay.
But you definitely want to understand what that warranty is going to cover to see what it is. But I think a warranty minimum should be at least 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a helpful guideline. Um, and so in terms of let's kind of move to another area there, the pool deck designs, right?
Sure.
Do you think these are becoming more innovative, more representative of the hotel's brand? Would you say that than they did in the past? Is that a trend, or have they always kind of reflected
Well,
the brand and the uh,
typically you always saw the
yeah,
designs really at high end and luxury.
right.
That was always the key. But now we're finding designs on all levels of pool decks. So I'm finding smaller hotels are looking for things that
Yeah.
separate themselves from everybody else on the market. We're doing some designs can be simple as just borders and patterns.
Mhm.
Some designs can be elaborate, like geometric shapes. We also get requests for custom colors that match a brand or logo.
Right.
So we've done logos inside of the decks. They're really looking for ways that are going to create that social media picture.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
amazing because I've actually looked at some of the hotels that we've done, and I watch the pictures that people take, and a lot of times they're taking pictures of themselves when there's some sort of an identifier. So it is pretty interesting when I'm like, oh, I remember when we put that teardrop in.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think with social media, uh, the pool deck designers have kind of upped their game a bit to create more interesting designs that can be featured on these selfies and things like that? In other words, does it go beyond the pool design and into the creativity of the deck?
Well, they're trying to merge. A lot of times they're merging architectural
Mhm.
features of the property into the deck as well. So
Okay.
they're trying to tie the deck with the
Mm.
chairs and the
Right.
umbrellas and the bar. So now we're
Okay.
looking at an integrated design system that's coming across that will transform with one picture
Yeah.
an entirely new vision of what a hotel should look like.
Yeah. And I assume the color scheme is going to match the color scheme of the hotel and the logo and all that, the brand look, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Sure. Um, Great. Any can you describe, Sean, any innovative pool deck designs that your company has come up with? And maybe give one example. Yeah.
We we did get a request from one of our properties whose logo has a bow tie in it, and they wanted the entire deck to be done in a 3D bow tie effect,
Oh,
which
wow.
looks
Okay.
pretty spectacular. And it was one of our more challenging installations. But once
Okay.
again, the clients are pushing us to be more innovative,
Yeah.
the products to be more innovative, and the market is reacting to it. So
Right.
for us, I would love every single one of my pool decks to look completely different from everybody else.
Fair enough. Great. So, Sean, I mean, looking ahead, do you think there's still more room for innovation in the technology of pool decks, the materials they're made of, and how they support guest safety and durability? Or have we, I don't know, have we kind of peaked with Aquaflex there, and in terms of, or is there
No,
more? Yeah.
I do believe that there's always room for enhancements. I mean, even our product Aquaflex, we've enhanced that over the years that we've utilized it for.
Yeah.
I see products evolve and change for the better all the time, and I think innovation is great. What they're looking for is better innovation with cooler deck technologies, better
Okay.
slip resistance, faster installations, and easier repairs are something that there definitely is a need for in the market, and
Right.
stronger crack bridging, to be able to absorb some of the movements of decks. A lot of pool decks are raised and are not ground level. So
Okay.
those get a lot of movement and shimming. So you
Yeah.
want something that's going to be able to bridge that. So I think that the new innovations that are going to come out, and when that product comes out and it completely balances
Mhm.
safety, durability, maintenance, and guest experiences, I'm going to be installing it.
So those are all the stars that have to align there for the perfect pool deck, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, Sean, thanks so much for your insights on this topic. I'm sure they'll be very helpful for hoteliers who have pools on site or are interested in building, right?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to Lodging on Demand. If you would like more content like this, please subscribe to Lodging Magazine on YouTube. You can also subscribe to Lodging on Demand wherever you get your podcasts. For news and updates, follow at Lodging Magazine on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Or visit us at lodgingmagazine.com.